Hey, it's John Alapic. Welcome back to the show. On today's show, I'm going to celebrate the 35th anniversary of a great latter-day album by one of my favorite bands. Today, I'm going to talk about Shades of Two Worlds by the Allman Brothers Band. This was released on July 2nd, 1991 on Epic Records. This is the follow-up to what was considered their comeback album from their second era or the third wave of the Allman Brothers, and that would have been Seven Turns, which came out approximately 1 year earlier. So Shades of Two Worlds, I bought 2 days after it was released on July 4, 1991. I bought it at the Gallery of Sound in Dallas, Pennsylvania, which was about 5 miles from where I grew up. I grew up in Courtdale, Pennsylvania. I lived there till 1994. This is the cassette that I bought that day. Still plays well. In that time, I was buying a lot of cassettes and CDs. Eventually, I would just buy CDs. I still have a few hundred of my early cassettes and all my Allman Brothers Band cassettes because I bought a lot of their stuff early on cassette. I first got into their music on Rock 107 WEZX FM, Scranton, Pennsylvania, the home of rock and roll, still locally owned and operated. In the 80s, they didn't play them much. They'd play Ramblin' Man. They'd play Jessica. They'd play Statesboro Blues. But in 1989, the band got back together. They brought in Warren Haynes, and I think he was really the shot in the arm that the band needed. And they did a tour in 89, which was very, very successful. During that time, they also put out a 4-disc box set spanning their whole career called Dreams. I've owned that box set since 1990, and it is one of my favorite box sets. I first heard one of their albums in full when I heard Eat a Peach. And when I heard Eat a Peach, it blew my freaking mind. And then after that, I was hooked. I've seen them 7 times live, all at Montage Mountain in Moosic, Pennsylvania, which is just outside of Scranton, Pennsylvania. I went to 4 of their Peach Music Festivals. I caught the ones in 2013, 14, 15, and the last day of the 2017 festival. All the times I saw them were at Montage. I never saw them with Dickie Betts in the band, but I would see Dickie Betts' solo band later. So that's my history with the Allman Brothers. And the thing with the Allman Brothers Band, once Seven Turns turned out to be a pretty successful record for them. I think if they went back and checked the album sales of this, I believe this would be a gold album by this point. The songs that hit radio off of this were Good Clean Fun, the title track, and It Ain't Over Yet. I think when those songs really hit, you start to hear more songs by the Allman Brothers from their classic albums. You start to hear Blue Sky. You start to hear Stand Back. You start to hear their wonderful cover of One Way Out. Songs like that. So when all this was going on, this really brought me in as a fan. And this is an album that I've always enjoyed. And I thought this was like a step up from Seven Turns. But it didn't get the recognition because, one, I think it came out a little too quick. And number 2, they only put out 1 single from this, which was End of the Line, which did get played heavy on Rock 107. I believe it hit number 2 on the album-oriented rock charts in 1991. So let's talk about the album. But before we do, let's talk about who played on it. We have Greg Allman on Hammond B3, organ, piano, and lead vocals. We have Dickie Betts on lead and rhythm guitar, acoustic slide guitar on Come On In My Kitchen, and lead vocals. We have J-Mo on drums and percussion and background vocals, Butch Trucks on drums and percussion and background vocals, Warren Haynes on lead rhythm and slide guitars, acoustic guitar, National steel body guitar on Come On In My Kitchen and background vocals, Alan Woody on a plethora of various bass instruments, fretless, 8-string, 5-string fretless, 18-string bass and acoustic bass. Guest appearance by Mark Quinones on congas and percussion. Mark would later become a full-time member of the band. He would be a full-time member of the band until their breakup in 2014. Mark Quinones is now in the Doobie Brothers. He's been with the Doobie Brothers since 2014. I will be seeing him in 2 nights when the Doobie Brothers play with Santana up at Bethel Woods. So we go into this album. A lot of the songs were co-written by Dickie Betts and Warren Haynes. We have one solo write by Greg Allman, and we also have a co-write with Greg Allman along with Warren Haynes, Alan Woody, and John Jarowicz on the song End of the Line, which is the single I talked about before, which is a very reflective song. It's got great guitar lines in it, wonderful slide playing on here, great solos. We got a solo first from Warren, and then we got a solo from Dickie. It has a very memorable chorus. When I think about the old days, oh, it sends chills up and down my spine. Life ain't what it seems on the boulevard of broken dreams. Glad I opened my eyes in the nick of time, because it sure felt like the end of the line. Wonderfully sung by Greg Allman. This was the right song to pick as the first single. The solos at the end when the ad libs are coming in from Greg, the alternating solos are wonderful during the fade out. It's excellent. Bad Rain. This was Dickie Betts, Warren Haynes co-write. This is a very cool track as well. Greg sings the lead on this. The organs from Greg really play a key role on here. When you hear the interplay between the organ and the guitar, it really reminds you of their earlier songs on their self-titled debut in Idlewild South, and a lot of Brothers and Sisters as well. Got another memorable chorus on here. The percussion is really outstanding on here. You can really hear Mark Quinones with his congas on here very well. This is a song that I think had enough of a hook that was memorable enough to get played on AOR radio. This is very good. To me, Nobody Knows is the highlight of the 4 albums that the Allman Brothers Band did from 1990 through 2003. So from 7 turns through hitting the notes. It's an 11-minute track, mostly instrumental, but the lyrics are very reflective and very thoughtful. The chorus, got to be leaving, got to believe in the dream. Freedom is always deceiving, never turning out to be what it seems. Classic. This song is fantastic musically. After they go through the first verse, and the musically, that riff on here is magnificent. The drums and percussion on here are phenomenal. The interplay between Butch and J-Mo and Mark is outstanding. It is so driving, and they do know when to slow it down, and they know when to pick it back up. When they go into the first solo, you get a nice organ solo from Greg before the guitar line takes you into the second verse. And we only get part of a full verse in that second verse. We think we're going to go into a chorus, but then we go into another solo. And there's the guitar solo from Warren. And the performance on here is breathtaking. With the rhythm section laying up a storm, you got a fantastic solo here from Warren, and then you also got a great solo here from Dickie. Actually, Dickie's vocal comes in, or his solo comes in after they do a complete breakdown. During this time, the percussion is magnificent. The bass lines from Alan Woody are very, very intricate. If you really pay attention to what he's doing here, it is awesome stuff. Very, very creative. That next solo starts slow, like jazz, and then it builds and until it's like very fiery. And it is wicked. They go into the last verse and chorus. And then at the end, we got more of that musical magic. You have Warren and Dickie alternating solos while everyone else is playing up such a wonderful storm. It is fantastic. It's 11 minutes. It never feels old, ever. It could go on another 5 minutes as far as I'm concerned. It is that strong a track. It is a song they took out live on the tour for Shades of Two Worlds. I never saw them play this live. By the time I saw them, they weren't doing anything off of Shades of Two Worlds anymore. Fantastic song. And we go into Desert Blues. This is written by Dickie and Warren. Very creative lyric on here. And it's very, very memorable, very catchy. And another song I think would have fit in very well on AOR at the time. It just never got played. It never got pushed out. But you got some wonderful slide guitar solos on here. You got a nice bridge on here that works very, very well. Another strong track. Get On With Your Life is Greg's solo right on this song. And this is a blues. And Greg sings the hell out of it. And the Hammond B3 sounds wonderful on this. The soloing on here is awesome. The rhythm section, they're playing for the song. They're staying laid back. They're playing a steady beat, but they're not throwing in a lot of crazy breaks or anything like you had on Nobody Knows. And it is very well done, very classy. Midnight Man used to be my least favorite song on the album. Now when I hear it, I'm like, how did this not hit radio? This is sung by Greg. This was written by Dickie and Warren. When I listen to this song, I'm thinking this would have fit in like a glove on AOR. It's it's just more blues rock than anything else. Greg sings it wonderfully, particularly on the chorus. The chorus is a burner. It would fit right in with stuff from like they were playing back then, like stuff like Eric Clapton or Steve Winwood, guys like that. It's very well written, great solos in the fade out. Excellent. Kind of Bird. This is the instrumental, co-written by Dickie and Warren. This is a tribute to Charlie Parker. They were listening to some Charlie Parker albums before they wrote this. This is a wonderful instrumental. I think it's a much stronger instrumental than True Gravity from Seven Turns. Very memorable unison guitar lines on here. Again, the percussion's really playing up a storm. A lot closer to jazz than Nobody Knows this. Even though you got a lot of percussion on here, this is very jazz in the way it is in its presentation. You got a wonderful Hammond B3 solo on here from Greg. The solos on here are magnificent. You got great musical passages that all are cohesive. You have callbacks on here. You have a little callback on here, little after 2 minutes in, to In Memory of Elizabeth Reed. You have another callback when it gets very atmospheric and there's a lot of percussion and there's guitar, but they're only focusing on a few notes. To me, that reminds me a lot of the beginning and the end of Les Breuer's in A minor. This was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Instrumental. In 1991, it lost to Cliffs of Dover by Eric Johnson, which is another wonderful instrumental. Probably the strongest instrumental from those four albums. We would only get three in True Gravity, Kind of Bird, and Instrumental Illness. But this is excellent. It's about 9 minutes long. Come On In My Kitchen. Covered a Robert Johnson song, the old blues legend, arranged by Dickie Betts. This sounds like something you'd hear on your back porch. Like here. There's the band. It starts out with wonderful country slide guitar on here. You got Dickie playing that. You got Warren playing the National Steel. It works very well. Recorded very well. It sounds like they're playing on your own back porch. Wonderful vocal from Greg. The harmonies are excellent, particularly Warren's, because Warren always had a lot of gospel in his vocals, particularly in the backing vocals in the Allman Brothers Band. This is very classy. Nice instrumental passages on here, nice solos. It all works very well. It's a wonderful way to end the album. Again, the harmonies are excellent. That long harmony at the end before the guitars end the track is outstanding. And it ends a wonderful album. It didn't get enough love or recognition that I'm proud to celebrate 35th anniversary of today. The Allman Brothers Band, Shades of Two Worlds. If you want to hear more songs, live songs from this album, check out An Evening with the Allman Brothers Band, which came out, I believe, the next year. This was a live album. This is the band at that time. Let me just point out all the members here. We have J-Mo, Alan Woody, Dickie Betts, Greg Allman, Warren Haynes, Mark Quinones. We have Tom Duquette, who plays harmonica on here, and there's Butch Trucks. So, Shades of Two Worlds, 1991. Happy anniversary, Allman Brothers Band. Thank you for all the wonderful music that you have given us. The music will live forever. What do you all think of the Allman Brothers Band's music, and what do you think of Shades of Two Worlds? It's a wonderful album from 1991. Please let me know in the comments what you think of this album. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll talk to you soon.